My name is Marilyn Ryan. I'm a hand weaver, and I'm showing my work at the White River Gallery in Montague for the month of November. This is some of the work that I've brought in, and it's mostly garments. I weave at my home. I have a studio in my home in Whitehall. And I've been weaving for about 20 years. Most recently, for the last 10 years, I've been doing it quite intensively. Before that, it was more of a hobby, but now it's an avocation that takes a great deal of my time and interest. I love weaving. I love the feel of fibers, yarns, and I love putting them together. One of the things I do when I'm getting ready to weave is to sit down on the floor in my studio with cones of yarn around me and pick them up and put them down and make selections that seem like they would be interesting for a finished product. Sometimes I get surprised, but often, as the more I do it, the more likely I am to come up with good results. For the show here, I limited myself to just weaving black and white. I thought that I had been doing it long enough that I needed a challenge. So I attempted to weave as many different kinds of things in as many different weave structures as I could, all in black and white. And then just to make the show more interesting, you'll see there are some colored things in here, but it was the black and white that was driving me. People sometimes ask me what you like best about weaving, and I really do like the ideas that come first, and trying to decide what to do, and then putting it on the loom. And then my really most favorite thing to weave is the first 3 inches of anything, because then I can see if my idea has panned out. From then on, it's a matter of just getting it done. And then, of course, since I'm making garments, once it's off the loom, it will often look quite different than it did on the loom. And there's another challenge to see how it fits together. I learned to weave in an adult education class at my local high school in Illinois. And since then, I've been taking classes and with groups. There's a Hand Weavers Guild in Michigan, which runs wonderful programs. And I'm a member of the Woodland Weavers and Spinners Guild in Grand Rapids, where we have programs and workshops. I learned from that as well. I haven't begun to use up all the ideas I have. I would love to keep doing it continuously. If the body would hold up, it can be tiring on the back and the arms and the shoulders, but otherwise I would just keep at it forever. For a while I was doing rag weaving. I took a class at the Arrowmont School of Arts and Crafts in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, from a woman who taught rag weaving. And a lot of people know rag weaving from rugs, but this was a much finer type of rag weaving. It wasn't actually rags, it's just material that you buy and cut into strips, but not old blue jeans. And weave it up into a fabric which is about as heavy as a good tweed. And then I made jackets out of that. And for about 4 years I made rag weave jackets, but I've gone on from there. I'm no longer doing that. I also have things in the gallery uptown in Grand Haven, and I've shown things at the Arts Place in Fremont. I've had things in the Muskegon Regional competition. So, I've had things in the state weaving um, Michigan League of Hand Weavers annual show. I do go to the Fiber Fest, the Michigan Fiber Fest in Allegan, which has wonderful exhibits there, and they have a whole lot of vendors, and it's the kind of place where I go and come out with shopping bags full of yarn, which I fondle in the seat next to me on the drive home. And also have been inspired by other people there. The things I have here, some of them are fairly simple in terms of the actual weaving, although the end product may not be. This one, for instance, is just plain weaving, but I did have to do it in terms of having sticks in the loom, and I sat with colors of yarn on the loom bench next to me, and every little variation in color was a selection that I had to make a decision about. But the weaving was very simple. This one, on the other hand, is only made of black and white, but it's extremely complex to weave. That's probably the most complex thing I've ever done. Oh, over here, I have a collection of scarves, mostly in black and white. And as you can see, they're all different. I do weave lightweight scarves for summer, and I have in the other parts of the gallery a lot of scarves in autumn colors, oranges and browns and yellows. But for winter, I thought black and white would be most interesting. And they did give me an opportunity to fool around with other weave structures. Weaving scarves is fun because they're pretty quick, whereas weaving something like this, which is an Irish cape, took a very long time, and then took a long time to make it into a cape once it was just yardage. I do use a lot of different fibers. One of my favorite ones to use is a blend of merino wool and silk, which is wonderful for scarves and very soft. But for clothing, you need something a little bit more substantial. This one is woven in a log cabin pattern, which I've then decorated with pieces of felt, and it makes it kind of fun to do. And you can see that its log cabin is similar in weaving as it is in quilting. And this is a wool cape that's made in wool, Irish cape made in wool. This one, this red one, is interesting because it has sequins in the yarn. And so it has a lot of sparkle. This is a shawl. It's hanging up like a wall hanging, but it really is a shawl, and it will sparkle when it gets wrapped around someone's shoulders. I've been using a lot of bamboo lately, which is an interesting new yarn, and of course is sustainable. So it's a good product to have and easy to work with. This one is made with a wide variety of yarn in it and a lot of different colors. It looks mostly red, but it's got a lot of other purples and blues and blacks in it. This one is made with chenille, a rayon chenille, which makes it nice and soft and drapey. The gallery here is a co-op gallery, and there are about 25 members. All of whom own or take part in the gallery and show their work here and work here to keep it going. We are going to be having a holiday gift bazaar in November in conjunction with Whitehall's Holiday Walk on November 18th and 19th. And all of the members of the gallery will be bringing in giftable items that they have made, which we hope that people will come in and get unique, unusual, one-of-a-kind, locally made art.